So now, ladies and gentlemen, we will quickly begin with our next session, which is our panel number 7, Automation and Insurance, a collaborative journey beyond the digital transformation. And for that, we have a plethora of industry experts here for this particular panel session. Before I call on stage the expert panel members, I request again all of you to kindly keep your electronic devices in the vibration or in the silent mode to maintain the decorum inside the conference hall. Please do keep your lanyards and name tags on at all times for efficient networking. And I hope you have already submitted your feedback forms for the SAS contest and have actively taken part in the Sinex LinkedIn contest as well. Now, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, a quick brief about this particular panel and what exactly the experts are going to talk about. How automation and intelligence processes are transforming the insurance industry today, transforming the insurance with AI-powered document automation and predictive analytics, insurance robotic process automation and how it can easily monitor compliance using internal review processes, future-proofing your insurance business with AI-powered automation, how AI is enabling the insurance providers to speed up the claim process and accuracy with data safety, automating the customer onboarding journey with intelligent automation for an insurer, real-time status tracking and reports on request, exception and approvals, building the intelligent insurer with advanced AI, data analytics, and transforming the customer onboarding experience with digital KYC. So a lot to discuss, and for that we have a solid panel with experienced insurance industry experts with us. So please help me welcome them. And I want you guys to give me a big support in terms of welcoming them with a big round of applause. I understand it's a post-lunch session, so we want the energy from the floor. So please help me welcome the first honorable panel member joining the floor, Mr. Abhijit Kedia, CTO, Raheja 𝐞𝐫𝐚𝐭𝐞𝐝 General Insurance Company. A big round of applause to Abhijit. Welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining Abhijit, we have Dr. Shridhar Page, Head of IT, National Insurance Academy. Welcome, Doctor. Glad to have you in the panel again. Please have your seat, sir. Joining next in the panel, we have Mr. Sanjiv Dwivedi, Head of Investigation and Loss Mitigation, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. A big round of applause to Sanjiv ji. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Dr. Sujit, Sankhe, Head of Underwriting, Reliance, Nippon Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Dr. Sujit. Welcome, Doctor. Please have your seat in the panel. Joining next, we have Mr. Mahesh Agrawal, Head of Core IT Application and Information Management, SBI General Insurance. A big round of applause to Mahesh. Mahesh, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Mr. Ashutosh Agarwal, Head of Customer Success, APAC, SS&C, Blue Prism. Big round of applause to Ashutosh. Ashutosh, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. And our honorable moderator for the panel, joining us, Mr. Sumanta Ghosh, CTO, Aegon Life Insurance. A big round of applause to Mr. Ghosh. Welcome to the panel, Mr. Ghosh. And over to you, Mr. Ghosh, for this fantastic panel session. And looking forward to a great session.
Hello, am I audible? Yeah. Yeah, thanks for having me here. So without much ado, I'll immediately jump into the topic. I'll just give a brief intro in terms of how the industry has moved on in terms of digitization. So in the past few decades, we were all focusing, on digitization. We were conceptualizing, and as you know, for any kind of initiative, there is conceptualization and then there is execution. So in terms of digitization, the industry we are in now, execution mode. So we have thought through, we have figured it out, and it's now in execution mode. So now then comes next what? Okay, so whatever humans were doing, we have digitized it, but what we have not digitized, for example, is how the human brain is thinking, okay, which is very, very important in insurance industry in terms of lot of operational processes and all. And then there is also a concept coming in called digitalization, which is saying that, okay, instead of just automating some of the human-centric processes and naming it as digitization, can we be one step further? So now is the era or the decade of, going beyond digital transformation or digitization And today we will be focusing on different aspects of that going beyond in this forum with my expert panel members, my colleagues in the industry. Okay, to start with, I will jump into the first question. So, the question is how automation and intelligence process are transforming insurance. Okay, so it's a widespread question, so I'll divide it into three of my industry colleagues. So I'll first reach out to Mr. Sujit for his valuable input on this topic.
Yeah, I think, am I audible? Yeah, good afternoon. I think it's quite a generic question, and I think Sumanta explained and gave a context to this rather panel discussion that we have seen the manual part of this process in early 2000. Being privatization happened quite late in insurance. Compared to banking, we got quite a less time in terms of this journey of so-called automation. Early 2000, most of the process was manual. Then we moved to semi kind of automation. Sumanta said digitalization. Things moved from Excel to flows, and flows were giving a base rules, and it used to give whatever output we want. But it was stagnant. It moved, it was there for quite some time, and suddenly in mid 2010s, we have seen this movement of automation. A lot of startup actually started coming in. COVID gave the reboot kind of thing in this journey. But I think now we are in that stage where Sumanta mentioned about implementation. I believe we are still in nascent stage, and we have a long road ahead. We're only going upwards. So from life perspective, we are looking to use the automation and intelligence to ensure that we have real-time decision, and how we can use this to the best effort is something which something which we are going to see in the time going ahead. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things which we will discuss going ahead. But for now, it is more to do with the implementation. And going ahead, let's see. I think it's just a start, and we have few more questions to answer. Probably most of the things will be covered there. I don't want to end, going ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there are further questions to it, which is kind of deep diving into the further topics. Now on the same topic, I would like to move on to Mr. Ashutosh in terms of to bring in a technology perspective to this topic.
Thanks, Sumanta. Good afternoon, everyone, and delighted to be part of the panel here. As we're discussing here, I'll take a step back, and share our perspective being a technology provider in this space, right? And we've seen a couple of interesting things about the vertical itself, right? So as a technology company in the RPA space and intelligent automation, we've been around for a couple of decades. And when we see the uptake of this technology across the verticals, insurance stands out as the top two verticals continuously in the last 5 to 10 years, which has been investing, right? And this is not just in India or Southeast Asia, but in APAC as well as broadly in the global context. So why is this happening? Why is this sector continuing to invest? And there are some coming on the back of some good benefits, good results. First and foremost, we're seeing the value that our customers are seeing and in the industry with intelligent automation around customer experience, right? Today and then yesterday, we had a lot of conversations here in the room and the panels on how small changes in the way we're doing a customer onboarding, in the way we are bringing on claims processing, the Swiggification or the Americanization of the expectations of customer experience is really changing the way the industry is moving, and that is really helping. Cost of operations. productivity is really increasing by 40 to 50%, right? So that's another thing that all insurance companies are really after. And very interestingly, some other metrics, right? We have seen now companies reporting up to 80% reduction in penalties that are given to the regulator, right? So those are the kind of benefits that customers are seeing in the insurance space, and that's a good reason for us to, kind of understand what's going on. I would only add to what you said, Sumanta, earlier, right? As you opened about digitization was an era that we've kind of seen now giving way to digitalization. And in the context of where we're seeing that movement happening, from an intelligent automation and RPS space, 5 or 7 years back, the conversations were more around, hey, can I automate parts of this process, customer onboarding? Can I look at, claims processing? And what part of the process can I automate? But now, the mid and the large companies are really taking a step back and saying, so what's going on here, right? I mean, I have my human workers because they are required to step in for things that technology cannot do, right? That's why we need a whole bunch of processors and, our workforce. And then we have the software, which in our parlance, we call them digital workers. So the conversations are now moving around, how can we change the way work is being delivered, right? Can we have a common work fabric, and the work or the task as part of a process can actually move to the right resource between a human worker or a digital worker at the right time to really optimize the value that it brings to the organization, right? So we're not looking at a siloed view as was in the digitization era, if that were to be, to now really looking at a further amalgamation and bringing together of the digital workforce and the human workforce. And that's something we're seeing with intelligent automation. And we like to say we're no longer in the RPA business. We created the category. And also with process orchestration, which is something really big. So, yeah, I'll I could go on, but I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, so it's as we all understand, it's in conceptualization stage. So there's no limit of thinking what is possible and what we can do, and churn our things around. Okay, so with this, I would because we have a time ticking on ahead of us. So I will move on to the next question, because you have raised about intelligent automation. So I will probably jump into one question which is talking about like how we are thinking of future-proofing our insurance business with the advent of AI-powered automation. So yeah, I would look forward to Mr. Sujit on this. Yeah, that's what. Or is it, I mean, I'm okay if Dr. Page wants to take it as well.
I think, I thought this question will be the last question, because future is, we are yet to talk about present, but is it okay? Actually, I don't know whether we are going to cut that discussion.
I think it was majorly because Ashutosh talked about, intelligent automation, so I thought there would be a continuity. Yeah, you can take it up, or we can.
So I'm going to talk about future before present. So yeah, I mean, because in first question, most of the present has been discussed. But I see automation, as I said, it is going to only mature from here, and the future lies in that maturity only. Things are going to be much faster. We are going to have information of the client even before the application comes to us. That is going to be a future. We already, I believe future lies in how we manage the data. Data is going to be most crucial part of the future. Data management, data quality, and a lot of repositories we have got, IIBs and bureaus. There are a lot of account aggregators. They are already gathering a lot of data. They are coming out their own solutions of automations within that data. The organizations are going to use the data of their own to automate their own, business itself. So right from onboarding to servicing to claims, the automation is going to play a big role. And the best part is, not only this automation is going to improve the quality of solution, improve the quality of servicing, it is going to manage the TAT well. For us, important is what? is customer service. So customer is going to be happy. We are going to be free of regulatory hurdles. Compliance is going to be very good. This is what automation has power as a future perspective. Imagine customer is applying and our systems, they already know the quality of the customer, the nature of job, his past information, and they are going to run a business. This AI is going to play a brain within a backend, in the backend, and it is going to give us the solution. Okay, you can do this with this particular client, and we just have to relook at it and give the decision. Most of the decisions are going to be real time. We are also looking for the medical data, centralized medical data as future perspective, where we also have medical decision available. That is going to help us save a lot of cost. We don't have to worry about medical assessment of the client, but because it is already there in our data. So we are going to save a lot of time. Client will save unnecessarily subjecting to, client will not be subjected to physical medical without having any risk of not having medical, not going through medicals. So this is what AI is going to give us going in future. And obviously, I will, the tech part of it will be discussed by rest of the panelists from a perspective of underwriting, claims, and new business. I think this is going to be a huge leap. We are going to only see, good days ahead, hopefully. And yeah, that's it for future. Probably some future will be spoken by Page sir.
So you talked about some tech side about the future. So with this, I would like to move on to Dr. Page to talk about on the same topic. Yeah, your views on the tech side, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Sumanta ji, and earlier two panelists gave excellent views on technology side as well as on insurance technical side, being Dr. Sujit, being medical doctor. I'll be as brief as possible. Aligning to the theme of this particular panel discussion, if you look at basically automation and insurance, a collaborative journey beyond digital transformation. So I'll speak few words on each of these words, or few sentences rather, we can say. Number one is automation. When we talk about automation, in insurance industry, being service industry, we are talking about software-based automation. We are not talking much about hardware-based automation as such. And when we talk about software-based automation, basically any software, earlier now, in the generation of AI or even 20 years down the line, it is very clear software is equal to data plus logic plus rules plus interface. Okay. Now, there are a lot of challenges related to data and different data for different domains. All of us know within insurance also, life insurance, general insurance, and a number of subdomains within that, data related things are there, logic related. Lot of transformations are happening on data side. Structured data, unstructured data, internal data, external data, social data, whatnot. N number of things are there. So a lot of transformations are happening in terms of automation of data leading to data intelligence. The second part of automation is process automation. And in process automation, we are leading to process intelligence. That kind of automation is happening. And process, when we talk about process, basically we are talking about logic. Because process revolves mostly around logic, that part is there. So overall automation is equal to data plus logic plus rules, okay, and interface. If you look at insurance business now, insurance, or for that matter any other business, insurance is also equal to data plus logic plus rules plus interface. It is data-intensive industry, it is knowledge-intensive industry, a number of processes are there, a lot of transformations are happening in the processes within insurance industry, okay, that is there, and interfaces. When we talk about interfaces in insurance industry, I find that, especially general insurance industry, okay, I find that perhaps general insurance industry is perhaps one of a few industries in the world which is connected to all facets of society, living as well as non-living. Living as well as, so we require more and more data from all facets of society, living as well as non-living. So a lot of transformations are happening in insurance. So that is, there are common things. So when we talk about collaborative journey based on DLRI on automation side or software side, and insurance side also DLRI, that is data, logic, rules, and interfaces. And when we talk about interfaces, I am talking about collaborations, I am talking about ecosystem, I am talking about collaboration within the organization, collaboration within insurance industry, across ecosystem, that is insurer, reinsurer, broker, agents, bank assurance, n number of things are there within that. And even going further, that is across industries, say HI-HC integration, health insurance and healthcare integration, or it is integration with automobile industry, integration with n number of integrations are there, all of us know it, integration with vahan.nic.in and n number of other things are there, ultimately integration with society at large, including social media. These kinds of convergences are happening. Okay, so automation side I told something, insurance side I had told something, continuous journey. When we talk about continuous journey, actual collaborative journey, collaboration has been there right from the inception of IT or technologies in insurance, but the kind of collaborative journey that we are experiencing now onwards or at present stage in insurance industry, that is far, far different than collaborative journey that we had during past about 40 years, 45 years of IT technology adoption. Now what is it? We are talking about low code, no code, and there is more and more technology is going nearer and nearer to, I can say, domain people. It is becoming more and more friendly. So it's not that we should get trapped in kind of programming languages and like that, low code, no code, that kind of thing is there. Fantastic interfaces are there. So journey has been there, and it is beyond digital transformation. So it is not just about technology transformation, but it is happening actually organizational transformation, industry transformation. The last part on that is we have 1.0, 1.0, 2.0. We are experiencing Web 3.0 for many years. Formally, nobody talks about 4.0, Web 4.0. Perhaps time has come or it will come soon. But on the other side, we are talking about Industry 4.0. And when we talk about all these things, what is the impact of Industry 4.0 on insurance industry itself? So we have to have Insurance 4.0 because insurance industry connected to all facets of this one. So it is journey, continuous journey, collaborative journey beyond digital transformations. So this is what I want to say at this stage. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So now we talked a lot about future. I'll again come back to the current or present. Dr. Page mentioned insurance is a data-intensive industry. I would also like to add that as of now today, insurance is also a very document-intensive industry. Okay, we have to process lots of documents everywhere in all aspects of our operations. With this, I will come to the question, and I will hand over to Mr. Mahesh. How are we transforming insurance with AI-powered document automation and predictive analysis?
Thank you, Sumanta. Any guesses how big is the industry, GI industry, GWP, as on YTD Jan 2024? It's 240,000 crore. And do you think anything can be done manually? Not possible. So, yes, we are at a nascent stage, but we have moved into the automation space. Long, but the journey has been initiated. It's not just SBI, it is with all insurance company. So when we talk about document automation, what are we talking about? I can take a couple of use cases. There are multiple use cases, but keeping the time in hand, I'll just pick about a couple of them. We are all aware of the KYC process, which is onboarding process. It's simple. We all know whether it is manual or it is video KYC. The documents get scanned, gets OCR, and then the necessary data gets captured, and we get the policy issuance process in place. The second use case, so this is something which all insurance companies have implemented. The second use case is something which is very peculiar. When we talk about the fraud or when we talk about claims processing, we get the discharge summary from a hospital, and that's again in a document form. Can we read, can we understand those documents and try to do some intelligence? In case of a burning ratio, in case of whatever, the discharge summary gives a complete picture. And from that, we have started doing a POC with a few of the vendors where we are getting some good insights, and that is helping. And if we are able to restrict such types of fraud in the industry, that will definitely help to the people sitting out here and the people in the public. So that's where we are working towards on the document automation, where not only about the document that we are getting, the invoices that we are getting, which are handwritten or which are in a document format, how can we read that, and what type of predictive analytics can we apply, whether it is calculation of a tax, whether it's talking about the labor cost that has been applied, and we can then compare for a particular garage. So if there are multiple vehicles going into a garage, and if we see any anomalies out there, something of that gets populated in our system. Okay, this garage is having a problem where he's charging for the same panel, same fender, same different charges with the customer. So why is that so? So such types are the activities which we are working out, and I believe looking at that time I'll restrict here, but I'll go otherwise on multiple use cases. But yes, these are something where things are being worked upon as an industry. Yeah.
Yep. So I think with this, because we can go on, but yeah, there is a time ticking as well. With this, I would move on to another topic. So again, coming back to insurance, as I said, it's a document-intensive industry. And another very important aspect of insurance industry is it is very strict in compliance. Okay. Now, in the past few decades, while we were all focusing on how to, digitize the processes, how to make it better, etc., the compliance part is still was largely manual. It was a manual review process. Okay. So, what are the betterments are we thinking about around that area? With this question, I will move on to Mr. Abhijit to shed some light on this.
Hello, hi. Compliances are becoming more and more stringent because the regulations are there. The awareness about person's own data is also there. The customer also wants to know how his data is secure with you. The new DPDPA Act is coming in where the consent management would be very required. So continuous compliance monitoring is required by all the insurance companies. Because we have huge amount of data with us, especially in health line of business, the data is very personal to the person, to our customers. RPA as a process has enabled huge amount of enhancement on those fields. For example, I will take 3-4 examples over there. First example is internal audit. For a continuous internal audit, RPA can simplify the steps what you need to do a sample checking and process the things over there, and even detect some frauds with some basic rules built by the domain experts itself. It doesn't have to be a pure hardcore IT guy who is doing that. Second important thing about compliances is we are getting data, as Doctor said, from various disparate sources. Taking it in, then making sense out of it, and then processing out is a difficult task. RPA helps in that also. You can collate at a domain expert level only which things are there, which things are not there, and do it. RPA tools now are empowered with process discovery and process mining, which from a compliance perspective is very necessary for KYC AML checks, where you can build in lots and lots of rules like STR and other things what we have to report to the regulator on a periodic basis. And the best part about RPA is it can run 24/7, so the sampling size can be very huge for better compliances.
I will just add, just a minute, I will add to this. Now, recently, if you have gone through the Data Privacy Act, it says that almost any leakages which happen from an insurance company, they would be levied with a penalty of 250 crores of rupees. Now this value is quite big, and handling the investigation part of the insurance domain, I have seen that people from insurance investigation part, we all are many vendors whom we hire or with whom we are working, they are not very sensitive about the data privacy. There are no checklist which we observe or we ensure that while empaneling a vendor. So this is going to become even more stringent, and believe me guys, if we are not developing ourselves, or if we are not grooming ourselves towards this kind of privacy act, we will be landing in a big trouble in days to come. So this is a request for all of you, so to ensure that your compliances are well in place.
Thanks, Mr. Sanjiv. So there's another aspect about insurance industry is claims, okay? Now, in layman's term, we think that, okay, if X is the number of people who are being insured, there is some percentage of that X where the real claim comes, where the claim comes in that every year and all. Now, India is very, I would say the insurance coverage of overall Indian population is very less if you look at comparison to other countries, okay? And obviously government is trying more and more to penetrate insurance across the country, okay? Now what does that mean? That minuscule of percentage of claims, when there will be huge number of penetration in the insurance, across the country, obviously the number of claims would increase. So there would be a strict demand of processing those claims. Now claims require subject matter expertise and in a very strict sense, okay. So with this, I would move on to Mr. Sanjiv again. The question is, Sanjiv, how does AI enable speeding of claim process and with the accuracy of data safety?
Thanks. So as you told, now the industry is moving towards volume of business. So the penetration is one of the target from the IRDA ends to all the insurance companies. And the volumes are in the rise. Now we cannot keep on increasing our manpower, because earlier if you see the traditional approach with which our underwriting or our claims operate, we feel that for 200 policies, one underwriter is required, or bandwidth is set, a threshold is being set. Now, if we continue with that, then with the same ratio, over period we will land up selling out more expenses to hire manpower and serve the policies or the claims. Now obviously, if you all know that insurance companies with the average COR which is 100 plus, none of the company today, apart from hardly one or two, would be into underwriting profit. The companies have changed their measurement criteria from the underwriting profit to PAT. And all this, they are getting it through the investment profit only. So the issue over here is how can we manage such a big volume of cases? And along with this, the customer is becoming even more demanding. Insurance companies wants to settle their claims within 30 minutes. Now see the time, if you just recall the times when we were some 5-10 years back, or even now also, at times if we see insurance company takes approximately 8 to 10 days to process a claim. And I have seen many people, they don't claim because they feel कि कौन इतना headache लेगा, to go to the insurance company, file the claim, and then follow up. Suddenly some doctor will ask some question, or some the claim specialist will ask some question, and then we land in a trouble. So better not to claim. If you see the Western world, or companies like from China, These all companies have already groomed up themselves to process a claim within 20 minutes. The straight pass-through processes are actively working over there. So as we move ahead, yes, there is a need of AI to ensure that we are into the straight pass-through process, and this will happen only through a proper automation, which we have spoken till now. We will be needing a lot of OCR, NLP data extractions, which are being done by the insurance company. Now, we have already started almost, I have been discussing with companies, they have already started this NLP and OCR-based data extraction basis which the data is prepared for analytics purpose. Now, even if you see, there was a question of future proving, which is again linked to this. Because if we keep on handling the higher volumes with more chances of fraud, which keeps on increasing, we cannot hire more manpower. So how will we future-proof? That question also correlates over here. Hence, I'm just mixing the answer over here. Now, insurance companies are, specifically when it comes to GI, general insurance, we didn't have KYC till last year. Last year only IRDA has mandated it. And if you see, recently now insurance companies have started coming up with their strategy on claim scoring or customer scoring or service provider scoring or even the agent scoring. So unless a scoring is being done, whether a person is a high risk or a low risk or a service provider or an intermediary, till then they are not onboarded. Or even if they are onboarded, our differential pricing will be done with them. So obviously these kind of tools are going to play a major role as we move ahead, and obviously a machine learning tool which will keep on tracking their digital behavior of a customer, their social behavior, their criminal track records, their financial past history with the bank where we get the scores from CIBIL database. All this merged together will help us to build a score of a customer. Now, is this the only approach? I will say this is not the only approach. There are several other things, like we have to keep on doing behavioral analysis of, again, customer, service providers, agents or our intermediaries. We have to do geo-analysis of the negative areas which are there. And obviously a company has to ensure that they work, their footprints are more in the areas where the negative areas are not there. I mean, in fact, they have to work in the positive areas so that then only they can work towards enhancing their profitability. Predictive analysis, their current trigger optimization, because we cannot keep on working with the same triggers which were there earlier. And we have to constantly read the efficiency of triggers, where which area, which location, which employee is helping you to give a better output. So all this has to be automated, and then only we can be more agile towards handling claims or the issuance at the issuance stage.
Thanks, Mr. Sanjiv.
I just add.
Yeah.
When he was talking about claim, I was just thinking about the word claim has AI in it. Claim में भी AI है, तो उसमें होगा ही definitely.
Well said, well said.
On a lighter side, but yes, just to add what sir was talking about, when we talk about a motor claim, we are working with the top 2 or 3 of the OEMs where they are helping us to settle the claim faster. How? Whenever a claim occurs, we do a video streaming, and the NQs are helping us. What are the other parts which will get damaged due to the impact of the claim which has happened through? So if something has hit from the front or from side panel or something of that stuff, what are the other parts of the panels are impacted? And it gives a very detailed analysis, and we can do the settlement much and quick faster. And that's how using AI, using the video streaming helps us to make the claims faster, process faster. So just an example for motor, I thought that will
That helps. Thanks a lot. Now, yes, I'm taking the cue on the same thing that, okay, there is a huge penetration that's going to happen in India in terms of insurance Har Ghar Mein insurance. That was the kind of concept our Prime Minister also was talking about. With this, I would move on to a question to Mr. Ashutosh. How are we automating customer onboarding with intelligent automation?
Yeah, thanks, Sumanta. So I think if you look at customer onboarding as a process, right, and if you just take a step back again and look at the whole life cycle of customer in the insurance context, there are two touch points which are very, which have a high impact on customer retention, on customer experience. First is obviously customer onboarding, and the second is the claims process, right, which we've been talking about. And as insurers would prefer not, you want to have the lowest ratio of claims coming off from your customer base, right? If you have 100 customers, you probably want to lower the percentage. So not all customers go through a claims process, but each and every customer goes through an onboarding process, right? And therein lies the opportunity to create a good impression because, data has shown that almost 30 to 40% of the customers who do not have a good experience, either with onboarding or with the claims, would look at next year, especially in the non-life area, to then churn out to a different insurance provider. So there is an opportunity to create a good first impression. So that's always there, but it is also fraught with some challenges. The first is that, in the onboarding process, there's a lot of data entry, data extraction, and rework that happens sometimes when the data is not clear, it's not apparent, and so there's a lot of back and forth. Also a lot of documents, right? So we've been talking here about so much of document processing and document automation. So there's tons of documents that need to be, brought into the system, sometimes through agents, sometimes through direct channels, and whatever be the way. So there's that side of document processing. And the third thing, something we were talking before the panel, and I was a little staggered when I saw some reports, and there was one mention that the regulator last year reported 1.3 crores of fraudulent, possible fraudulent complaints that came its way, right? Not all of these would have been fraudulent, but 1.3 crore complaints. And many of these, 80% of these are around, the time when the onboarding happens, because, somebody picks the data, the Aadhaar card or the passport or the driver's license, and that data, especially with the agents, is not properly taken care of. And therein lies, some of the penal actions also that we talked about. So with all this, I think where we're seeing opportunities to transform the onboarding process is first is the data extraction and data entry. 10, 15 years back, and even now in certain demographics, we're still looking at collecting physical data, physical documents, and re-entering it. But now we have technology which can really help change that, right? So with, from our side, from SS&C Blue Prism, we have something like a document automation platform, which can really help bring in the excess of 95% accuracy on handwritten documents in structured forms, right? So if you look at the proposal form, which is still 40-50%, and you guys will know better, of the proposals are still coming, in a form. And if you have handwritten content, that is, so the technology is moving very fast. And one of the ways to really transform that in the customer onboarding process is to see how we can use this document, data extraction process from documents, right? That's one. Second is when you look at the whole process of underwriting. Now, underwriting is a very complex process. How do you price risk, and how do you look at dividing your risk into different profiles? So I won't say that we are seeing customers really automate that, but the whole process of providing the right data points and high quality data points to the underwriter is helping transform the onboarding process, because then the decisions are faster, and we are also looking at, as insurers, we don't want to reject, but then we want to reject when we should reject, right? So, but you don't want to be covering that gray area, which is, when you're rejecting when the cause was not valid. So I think beyond that, there are some other obvious ones, for example, in payment processing, customer intimation, customer communication in the onboarding process. So those are some of the ways where we're seeing, some really fast movement in transforming customer onboarding.
So I will add to what Ashutosh you told. So I was just going through a survey from McKinsey, which says that today our underwriter, they spend almost 40% of their time doing technical work. They're more into the administrative work, filling up the data and doing a lot of work which are actually not required, which is hampering their time. Obviously, this kind of, and this, if we total up the cost which a company loses, overall the insurance sector which has lost is more than 1 lakh crores of rupees across globe, I'm saying, which is a huge amount. And I feel this is the amount which would be of a, when we calculate the number percentage of fraud which happens, it is almost similar to that amount which we lose because of this kind of non-automation which is there in the insurance company. And obviously, what you told, it is much needed now, so that we utilize people in the right direction rather than using them for the administrative work.
And underwriters are some of the most, highly skilled people,
Yes.
highly sought after people. So you would rather want them to be leveraged for the, what they do best,
Yes,
rather than going after data.
As a underwriter myself, I would like to add something here. So, actually, I agree with the point, but from underwriting perspective, we want to avoid any manual information coming to us. So more we, integrate with aggregators, like we have PAN card, Aadhaar card, credit bureaus, all account aggregator giving a financial information. I would avoid information coming directly from client and getting it through some available sources which are reliable. The best part is here, I am more confident about the decision. My time is saved. Customer's time is also saved because customer doesn't, he just have to probably pay make the payment. That also is automated in most of the scenario. Most of the big companies are already into this, believe me, and they are halfway through as I am talking to you, and maybe another 4-5 years, we are only going to see underwriter doing actually underwriting and not some administrative job. Thanks.
Very well said, very well said. Now with this, we talked about onboarding. I would like to move on to a very favorite topic, which is now running in the media. It is about KYC. Okay, there are a lot of, RBI is looking after a lot of companies in terms of how they are doing KYC. Is there a gap in there? So I would like to move on to Mr. Abhijit, asking what is the next to KYC now in terms of onboarding?
Basically, what has happened into 2023 January is non-life insurance. I will talk about non-life insurance. That KYC became compulsory. One of the biggest savior for us was the digital KYC was there. So the onboarding of customers with help of various data sets from across the government, Aadhaar, PAN and other databases, and CERSAI, it was very easy for us to automate the KYC to fetch the data based on their Aadhaar authentication and then do the KYC within less than 10 seconds. You can complete the KYC. And where the documents are not available or the KYC, the period of minimum KYC has elapsed, a detailed video-based KYC or document-based, OVD-based KYC with the help of AI tools and RPA tools was being done on a self-service basis. So all the companies I know of in GI space are digital, and everyone prefers processing the document in a digital mode only because it reduces the cost drastically. Otherwise, there's a more, I will say, compared to a physical-based KYC, the digital KYC is in less than 1% of the cost of the physical KYC. So that is the benefit what KYC has brought in. Because of the KYC, one more thing has happened is the data quality of who you are insuring has improved a lot. So would agree that maximum of the policies we had around no correct mobile number or email ID of the customer. Now we have that. So it has improved data analytics and every part of insurance data across.
Yeah, so unfortunately we are now, it's end of our time. So with this, I would request audience for, if anyone have any questions around that we would like to answer.
Big round of applause for this wonderful panel here on automation and insurance industry, and thank you Sumanta ji for wonderfully moderating the panel session as well. In the interest of the time, we can take one quick question. So anybody having a question, I request please keep your hand raised and we'll pass on the mic to you. Can we have the mic there? kindly to introduce yourself and the question to which particular panel member. If it's a generic question, I think Mr. Ghosh is the ideal person to decide whom to point out the question.
Hi. Hello. My name is Mohit Anand. I'm a co-founder of Mitigator.com, a smart cyber insurance company. You guys discussed about the underwriting part, the onboarding part, how automation and digital transformation is very much required there in that particular direction. I just wanted to ask, what would be your primary focus for in the case of digital transformation as well as automation? Will it be onboarding or the granular level of data that's required for better underwriting of the insurance policies? Like in case of cyber insurance, the onboarding, the claims, and even the underwriting part is completely messed up as of I have experience. So please.
I will take this question. Okay. So what I understood about your question is where we should focus more at the AI part. So obviously it should be, the first thing should be underwriting. If we underwrite well, we will be into a profit situation. So today, if you see 35% of fraud or leakages happen at the underwriting stage itself. If we are not sensitive over there, we may land up doing so there are two approaches with which a company works. One is proactive and the other one is reactive. So if this is not done at the underwriting stage, we will be more at the reactive stage. Once a claim comes, then all those machine learning, automation and everything, if it happens over there, we will be at a loser end. So obviously we should start at the underwriting stage and then gradually it should go to the claims and investigation and overall the entire cycle. It should.
Just like to add to what he said. So it's not just one process, as you were saying. The process has to be implemented at all the places, right from onboarding to underwriting to verifying the information from the bureaus. So IIB has come up with a lot of insights on Vahan, on previous insurance, on NCBs that we have, on Satark that we have. So a lot of initiative has been taken at regulators' end, which is helping the insurance companies as well. Not only that, at the time of claims, we also need to understand their past history and the behavior. So keeping everything for that particular purpose is important, and I think everywhere it is required, not at just onboarding. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much, panel members, and thank you so much, Sumanta ji, for wonderfully moderating the panel. I would now request Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj, Country Director from Neurologics Corporation, to kindly come on stage to do the honors of felicitating this wonderful panel. Can we have Mr. Sanjay Bhardwaj on the stage, please? Sanjay ji, if you could kindly come on stage to do the honors. Do we have Sanjay Bhardwaj, Country Director from Neurologics Corporation? I think Sanjay ji is not available. Yes, sir. You wanted to ask a question? Yeah, I think we can take the time when Sanjay ji comes in for the quick question then. Yes, can we have a mic to sir, please? You can obviously make use of the time. Yeah, can we have mic to sir, please?
Hi, I am B.K. Patnaik from Paramount UPA, ex-New India manager. My simple question is about KYC. We know about KYC. Recently, IRDA, the government of India also supported about CKYC. If a person having a CKYC number, still the insurer or say TPA, they ask for KYC. So can I have an answer on that, whether CKYC is working, then who is responsible for that?
I can take that question. See, if you have a CKYC number with you, you need not have to reprocess the same. Okay? Now, that's rule number 1. Rule number 2 says, every 2 years in insurance company, if you are targeted as a low-risk customer, then post 2 years, the one which are the existing customer, we need to do a re-KYC. So this is how it works.
My second question is, who is handling this CKYC process? Whether it is the insurance company or there is a register, some other company is handling this.
No, so normally this process in a company is handled by the operation team, and the operation team, they have some API integration with some third party or through the authorized people through which they can do this process.
No, sir.
No, Sarsai.
So Sarsai,
It is, the CKYC is owned by Sarsai, which is a government organization.
I think definitely we can take that questions and answers after the panel session. Thank you so much to you, sir, and thank you so much, panel members, for answering. I think we have Sanjay ji here. Sanjay ji, if you could please come on stage. Sanjay Bharadwaj, ladies and gentlemen, Country Director from Neurologics Corporation. On the stage, please, Sanjay sir, for the felicitation. Thank you so much for joining. We'll proceed with Mr. Abhijit Kedia, CTO from Raheja QBE General Insurance Company. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. Abhijit Kedia for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Dr. Shridhar Page from National Insurance Academy. A big round of applause to Dr. Shridhar for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Mr. Sanjiv Dwivedi from Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Sanjiv Dwivedi for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Dr. Sujit Sankhe from Reliance Nippon Life Insurance. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sujit Sankhe for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mahesh Agrawal from SBI General Insurance. A big round of applause to Mahesh Agrawal for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Mr. Ashutosh Agarwal from SS&C Blue Prism. A big round of applause to Ashutosh Agarwal for his wonderful contribution in the panel session. And now our honorable moderator, Mr. Sumanta Ghosh from Aegon Life Insurance. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sumanta Ghosh for wonderfully moderating this panel session of experts here. Would request the honorable panel members to kindly step forward in the stage for a group photograph, and Sanjay, if you could also join them for an all-panel group photograph. And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for this wonderful panel of experts again for a fantastic session on automation and insurance, a collaborative journey beyond digital transformation. A big thank you to Sumanta Ghosh from Aegon Life Insurance for wonderfully moderating it. A thank you to all the panel members for their contribution, and a big thank you to Sanjay Bharadwaj from Neurologics Corporation for the felicitation process as well. Thank you to everyone.